Hi everyone and welcome back to Next Diecast. For today's video I'll be showing you and reviewing this 1/18 scale Honda S2000 made by Maisto. This is a pretty good model from Maisto. It has been discontinued for a few years now. I forget the exact year they took it out of their catalog, but it's been at least like 3 years I want to say. When it was still out, it came in this really cool bright red with the black interior, like a light metallic blue with the same interior, and also a yellow. And when Maisto actually first started making this model in 2001, they actually offered it in both the left-hand drive version that you see here and the right-hand drive version, which is kind of cool actually. It also came in black with like red interior and silver with red interior. I'd say the only direct competitor to this model was the Auto Art version, which was upwards of like $100 when that was also out. But this one I would say is very comparable to it in terms of detail. This is one of Maisto's better models from their like 2000s era of like cars. And overall I'd say the details are pretty good on every level. Let's go ahead and start up here with the front of the model. We'll get into the detail here. Maisto did a pretty good job with these headlights. They look like actual bulbs and everything, and when you have it from a distance, it kind of looks like the lights are actually turned on. There is a peg in the top corner, as you see here. Not a big deal, because from a distance, it's kind of hard to see. Lenses are a bit loose, but if you're not touching them, you can't really tell. This Honda badge that you see right here, that's painted on. That's not a sticker, which is nice to see. These lower grills are actual grills. They aren't just like solid plastic pieces. They do have like perforations and indents in them, which is nice. It's a nice S2000 license plate right there. Paint quality overall, I would say, is very good. It's not like a metallic red. It's just like a kind of like a regular, like straight up red. But the metallic blue actually looks really good as well. It has like that sparkle to it. I played with this model as a little kid, so there are, scuffs and things on it, so just keep that in mind if you see anything weird as I pan around the car. That would have been my fault from when I was a kid. Along the side here, we'll see there's an S2000 Inscription. Looks very good. Kind of pops out a little bit too. That's on the other side as well. Wheel detail looks very good. Maisto actually put on these Bridgestone branded tires. You can't really see with this lighting, but Maisto doesn't do like brand name tires anymore. They just have like generic tires on their models, but this is really cool to kind of see that extra level of detail there. The rims themselves look great. They have the lug nuts on them and the Honda badge in the center. Full suspension, of course, as well as full steering, which is also nice to see. The disc brake actually does move with the wheel, which is a very rare feature for a Maisto model. Some older ones do have that. I guess this one is one of them. Oh yeah, panel gaps aren't too bad, except for down here. There's a big one, and some of the hood has kind of these panel gaps on it. It's less hard to see with the black version, of course, but this one you can kind of see it, which is a bit annoying, but not a big deal. Moving along to the back here, Maisto did a pretty good job with these taillights, and there's a big fat paint chip from me when I was a kid. These bulbs look great. The lenses are a bit thick and they are kind of loose back here, but from a distance they look like actual lights, which is nice. There's a Honda badge back here as well, just like the front, painted on. Exhaust pipes are chrome, but at least they're kind of hollow, and they're painted black on the inside. So look a bit more realistic for Maisto exhaust, but not on like a major level or anything like that. This taillight back here is a separate plastic piece. It is not just painted on, which is nice to see. Sometimes Maisto will just paint on these like rear brake lights, but on here they actually painted it. They actually did a separate plastic piece. Very sturdy mirrors. I don't think I said anything about that yet. This radio antenna back here is a bit on the loose side, so just be careful with your version if you buy one. The trunk opens, as you can see here. Not much to really see in there. It does have a nice kind of texture and has kind of like the same pattern and dimensions as the actual trunk. Close that up. The engine detailing, we get something with one hand. Overall, I would say is very good. You can see all the way down to the bottom. It's not just one single plastic mold. There's several pieces in there throughout. You can see this VTEC Honda inscription right here. This once had a prop rod you could actually hold the hood up with, but it's since been broken, so it doesn't really hold up by itself. So I have to use my hand right now to do that, which is a bit annoying, but you gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. There's like warning labels throughout here, detailing it in the front. This is actually metal, this red right here, so they did a really, I think, bang up job with this engine. One of Maisto's better engines, definitely, especially for like their early 2000s offerings, if you compare it to them. Moving along to the interior. Maisto did a really good job with this interior. If you take a look at the seats, they have like a really cool like leather pattern on them, on the seat backs and on the seat surfaces. They look really good. They do fold a little bit, but not too much. There's separate seat belts as well. Maisto doesn't always include seat belts in their models. And this rear top cover has a nice texture on it as well, kind of like the leather that's on the seats. Door panels, not too much to see. They have a nice pattern on them. And there's kind of like a carbon fiber like texture on this handle here, which is interesting. But not much to really see on the door panels aside from that. The dashboard is very like sparse, kind of like the actual S2000. Like there's a panel that you take off down here where like the radio is. On here it's of course covered, but the few buttons that are there are all painted nicely, and you can actually read them if you look really, really close. And the steering wheel has nice detailing on it as well. There's a little airbag symbol and has like the carbon fiber pattern. It's not actual carbon fiber, but it has like that rough kind of texture to it. It does move with the wheels, as you saw when I demonstrated that. Vents don't really look super detailed. They are molded nicely, but if they had like silver swishes, that would look cool. There actually are molded floor mats. Kind of hard to see, but Maisto doesn't usually do that on their model, so that's a cool like extra bonus detail, I would say for sure. Silver pedals, different angle here. It's gonna be kind of hard to see, but the pedals are separate pieces and they look really good. And also there's some pattern on this center armrest here too on that storage compartment, which is really cool to see. Overall, a really good job on this interior. Kind of a shame Maisto stopped making their S2000. It really was a great model, as you can see here. Oh, the undercarriage as well. Maisto's trademark chrome exhaust, that's already starting to fade a little bit. Not really too much to see there. But what they have is pretty decent, though, I would say. Overall, if you can find this for a cheap price on eBay or anywhere used for that matter, I would say definitely get it. Looks good with any sports cars in a model car collection, or if you collect Honda models or anything like that, or Japanese cars, it looks really good. Alright, that's all for now. Thanks so much for watching. As always, be sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below with your thoughts on this model. And also be sure to follow my Instagram page, Nick's Diecast page, which is all lowercase and no spacing. Thanks for watching, guys.